Hi guys, how's it going? And welcome back to my garden and back for another little garden tour. Just before we start, I just wanted to say a big thank you to everybody that's subscribed so far. It really means a lot. And then to anybody who hasn't yet, why not? Come along. All right, let's get on with the tour. So guys, our garden is just, well, it's just like a kind of small to medium size normal garden really. But I just think it doesn't matter how big or small your garden is, you can always make it pretty and you can always make it functional for you, just so that you can actually enjoy your garden space and get as much out of your garden space as it is, whether that's planting loads of flowers or having a decking area or loads of grass or a wildflower meadow, whatever it is that gives you pleasure when you go out in the garden. So yeah. So not that much has changed over the last month. There's a few nice new things that have come out, so I'll sort of pinpoint those, but we'll have a little walk round anyway, just to see how it's all going. So starting off in the front border then, so yeah, we've done a little bit of upgrading to this border, where we sort of rejigged things. So as I said in previous videos, this flower bed is really new, so it's only just over a year old. We had the driveway done and then it left this big area here, which was amazing. So I got to plant loads of beautiful plants. So it's mostly perennial in this flower bed, perennials, shrubs, that sort of thing. Yeah, and I've sort of tried to repeat things. So you've sort of got the first part of the border here with sort of different perennials, and then I've sort of tried to repeat the same, so there's a bit of cohesion. So as you can see, you've got things like the Russian sage, you've got 2 of those, echinacea, you've got 2. So I've just tried to sort of double up plants so it sort of doesn't look too messy and too many plants in one. But yeah, so things that are really catching my eye in this border at the moment is the euphorbia, actually, just looking at that now. Just this gorgeous euphorbia here. I just love the sort of different colours of the foliage. You've got the green, the yellow, the red, so the new tips come out as red. And they do, in springtime, they get these beautiful kind of yellowy, almost chartreuse blooms that come up. That's all been chopped back though, but yeah, I just love that plant at the moment. And then behind that, again, something that's catching my eye is this pink crispy. So it's a Photinia. I'll just kind of zoom in a little bit so you can see the leaves. So the leaves have this sort of marbled leaf effect, and when the new leaves come out, they come out this sort of pinky leaves, and then they sort of age to the more greeny marbled leaves. But again, really just adding that little bit of different colour within one plant, which I think is really good. So I'm just going to zoom out again, coming back out. So yeah, I think it's all looking nice at the moment, I think. So we have got some lupins, again, they're flowered out. We've got some lady's mantle, we've got 3 of those in there. We've got some heuchera as well, so again, it just adds that different sort of colour of foliage there. So between the lady's mantle, the heuchera and the sedum here, it just sort of adds a really nice difference in colour for foliage. And I like that sort of contrast of leaves in a flower bed, and also different sort of shapes of leaves as well. And sort of going on to the armeria here, that's sort of got really sort of strappy leaves, and again just adds that difference between the armeria and the other lady's mantle there. So yeah. So one of the new things that we've added in this year is this eucalyptus tree. So this is one that stays pretty small in terms of eucalyptus trees. So this is only going to get to about 4 meters. So it is still a small plant, but that is going to grow a little bit higher. And then I don't know what you guys think about these 2 verbenas. They are really beautiful, and they last all season long, well into autumn. But I had the issue where it just reseeded everywhere. I mean, absolutely everywhere. For months now I've been digging up little seedlings that just keep popping up everywhere. And I kind of feel now that it's sort of competing a little bit with the eucalyptus. I don't know what you guys think. So I think I might end up taking those out and just putting something else, maybe with a bit of height, but not something that's too high, because I think it just competes with the eucalyptus a little bit too much. But yeah, I mean, it is a gorgeous plant. Really, really gorgeous. We've got some in the back garden as well. Really, really pretty. And the bees absolutely love this plant. So yeah, not sure yet. So another thing that's sort of, I guess, come back is the salvia. So we've got 3 salvia, got one just behind there, and then one here. And those are the sort of some of the new plants I added into this border this year. And these ones are on their second flush, so they had their first flush in the garden centre, and then I bought them reduced because they were sort of past their best, really. But that's fine. I took them home, chopped the bloom stalks off, and they've just started to flush again. So yeah, and they're perennial, so they will just keep coming back every year as well. Yeah, and the other 2 things that are really sort of crying out for attention, well, they're just looking beautiful, I guess is what I'm trying to say, is the Russian sage. So they're just coming into their own in sort of end of July, August, and they'll sort of keep going as well all the way through to the end of summer. But yeah, just coming on down, so maybe these plants I don't always talk about because they're sort of at the back of the border. So we've got a little rose bush here. What have we got? Yes, so we've got this loropetalum. So we've got 2. We've got one there and one over there just behind. And again, they just add that little different colour foliage. And in the springtime, they have these beautiful pink flowers, sort of magenta pink flowers that look absolutely gorgeous. And again, they're very small. They need to fill in. But I think that again just adds a little bit of depth there because it's got a different sort of darker colour foliage. And then obviously the Photinia we've talked about. And then the buddleia. So we have got a lovely buddleia here that's sort of filling in this area as well. And the blooms on it, I'll just sort of go a little bit closer. The blooms I just absolutely love. Let's zoom in on this one. Look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. And then just sort of looking behind, we've got our japonica, Fatsia japonica spider's web. So again, loving that sort of marbling of the leaves. I actually planted these together, the Fatsia japonica and the Photinia together, because I just wanted to add just a little bit more interest with foliage. And they're sort of, I think they're both evergreen actually, yeah. So they'll stay out throughout. And again, that'll sort of fill in the area over there. But yeah, coming on back, I'm just sort of, yeah, very happy with how it's going at the minute. The question for me is just whether we take out these verbena and plant something a little bit shorter. But yeah, let me know what you think. And the roses as well. So we've got 2 roses in this flower bed. This is one of them. This is a floribunda, so they have lots of blooms on one stalk, but look how beautiful they are. So these ones and the other ones, they all got black spot. So I had to defoliate them completely, but they've come back, they've bounced back, and they're producing lots of beautiful blooms, and they smell divine. Yeah, so it's all looking good. Oh, and another thing I've just noticed. Oh, brilliant. So we've got 2 of these perennial grasses in, and they've just started to flower basically. Look at these beautiful, look at those. They look really, really pretty, and they will go on all the way through autumn, and you can leave them there through winter as well, and then sort of chop them back when you sort of border them. But yeah, so that is the flower bed at the moment. So yeah, I'm liking the way it is at the moment. Obviously, yeah, as I said, we made a few changes to the flower bed. But yeah, pretty happy with the way it's going at the moment. What do you guys think? So coming on over just to the front door here, we've got 2 planters here, one with a boxwood well, it's going to be a bit of a sort of round topia, round sphere, I guess. And then the other one is the one where we planted the Group 3 clematis, and it's just starting to really bloom now, which is absolutely brilliant. So gorgeous blooms. Lovely purple colour, and the flowers sort of age a little bit lighter, so you get this kind of two-toned effect on the plant as well, which I think is really nice. And all I've done on the bottom is sort of just planted around some sort of sempervivums, and that's around the other one as well. I think that pot needs a bit of a painting job, doesn't it? It's all starting to peel off. But yeah, we've got a nice sphere here, and then just coming into the back as well. Excuse the tripod. Again, we've got the planter here, which again we've got this sphere which is going to hopefully grow with some beautiful I can't remember what these were called, but they're so pretty, just sort of surrounding it. Right, on we go through to the back garden. So, coming on into the back garden, and I'm actually really loving this little rockery flower bed here with these osteospermums. Aren't they amazing? I just really love that sort of colour. We've got the ajuga here, which is an amazing ground cover. I know I keep going on about it, but it really is amazing with all that sort of different colour in the foliage. It just cascades down. It just looks really beautiful. And then in spring, and it's starting to flower again for some reason, it gets these really beautiful purple bloom spikes. So I don't know about you guys, but we've got things that are supposed to be flowering spring, which flowered in spring, and they're starting to flower again. And I've actually read this on for other people it's happening as well. There's a couple of Facebook gardening sites that I have joined and I sort of look on, and there's lots of people saying that their daffodils are coming up now, which is so odd. It must be the weather that we've had. We had sort of quite a hot start, and then it sort of cooled down. It's sort of quite cool at the moment. So yeah, I mean, we've got a Weigelia, which is definitely a spring flowering plant in the front garden, and yeah, it's starting to flower again, which is so odd. So I don't know if you guys have had the same, where you've had sort of spring things starting to flower again. But yeah, back to the little rockery. I just absolutely adore this osteospermum. I've never ever seen one like it before. I don't know if you had. The tag just said osteospermum. It didn't say anything else about what sort of variety. But it's just so beautiful. It must be sort of some sort of a double, obviously, because it's got more than one layer of petals. But it's so pretty. I don't know if anybody can identify it for me, but yeah, I'm loving that, and I'm sort of loving the combination with the other osteospermums. So these are sort of more the regular ones. And then also as well, it sort of offsets, well, not offsets, but sort of brings out that, again, this euphorbia with the sort of reddish, purpley leaves. And I just think it goes so nicely together. Sort of brings out each other, the colour in each other. So yeah, so I'm really enjoying this border. Actually, this is probably my favourite border at the moment. Very simple, but it's just sort of eye-catching. We've got a cordyline there, peonies obviously done for the year, and then we've got this rose that's trying to rebloom again. So I'm sure normally it just blooms once, but it's definitely trying to push some more blooms. So this has got an amazing scent, a really kind of sweet rose scent. So I'm looking forward to those starting to bloom again. There we go. So shall we go on up into the main back border then, and we'll just have a quick look round. So I think what I might do, go through our rose arch. I might start over on this end actually. So this is our left border. Go all the way up to the top. Around the top. Got the shed, the chicken run, coming all the way down. I'll just show you the whole back garden quickly, and then I'll just point out a few things that I'm really enjoying in the garden at the moment. There we go. So that is the back garden. But I just wanted to point out a few beautiful things that are flowering. So one of the things that I'm really enjoying at the moment, and I have been enjoying, is this lobelia here. So beautiful. I think these were flowering in the last tour. So they are just sort of, they're still going, but they've got a few sort of brown flowers which you can just pick off if you want to. But again, bees love this plant. The thing I like about this is the different foliage as well, so it's sort of darker, greener, purpley foliage. So really enjoying those at the moment. Something else I'm really enjoying is the echinacea, of course. I think they were flowering last time. But yeah, they are just such workhorse plants, aren't they? They just keep going and going and going and going. And they're massive. They're absolutely massive. They're taller than my daughter, and she's 10 years old. Well, nearly 10 years old. And then the thing, so this definitely wasn't in flower last tour, and I remember saying I can't wait for them to come out, and they have, which are these gorgeous dahlias. So this is Otto's Thrill, I think it's called, and look at it, huge bloom. So that's my hand and that's the flower, so it's as big as my hand basically. So these are nice dinner plate dahlias. So even like when they're coming out, they just look really pretty. So it starts off more sort of coral, and then it ends up being more pinky. But I think they just look nice next to the echinacea. So yeah, really happy with those. So the next thing you might see is a bit different is we've chopped all our lupins back, which were there and there. So I don't know, in the last tour I think I showed you they all got mildew, which is what happens a lot to our lupins, and they just started to look unsightly, so I have chopped them back. There's a little bit of leaf coverage still there. So I think it was about a week ago I posted a video on basically the plans for the garden, so any upgrades that I wanted to do, so things that I wanted to move, take out, put in. So in that video I sort of talked about the lupin issue and the fact that I've got quite a few lupins planted. So in one area, one part of the border, we've got 3, another part we've got 2, and they're so beautiful in the spring. They look absolutely gorgeous. But when they finish flowering, that's it. It's just green. It's quite a big area of green, and they start to go mildewy, which isn't ideal. So my plan is to just leave one lupin in each spot, and then plant something else next to it, basically. So we've got some more colour during the season. But as you can see, it's sort of looking a little bit greeny in places, and that's because the lupins have gone, they've done, and it's just lacking a bit of flower. So that's something that I'm going to be changing. So yeah, in front of that we've got our lambs here, which is, it always looks gorgeous, absolutely beautiful, different colour foliage as well, again, different texture, really adds that texture to the garden. Lady's mantle finished flowering, but still looking quite pretty with its different coloured shaped leaves. And then we've got our boscabelle, which is going for it a second time. So these are just so beautiful. So this is the David Austin rose, really pretty. This one's just starting to come out. Absolutely beautiful, gorgeous scent as well, sort of a myrrh rosy scent. So yeah, really enjoying those at the moment. And actually something else I'm really enjoying is this euphorbia. I know it's just sort of a plain euphorbia, it's got no flowers, but I just love the texture. The sort of, just how the leaves form as they sort of grow up. I just think it's so pretty. And again, you've got that sort of shiny, more bolder leaves, dark green. So yeah, really enjoying those. This area, as I said in my upgrade video, needs a bit of work, and I'll be working on that as well, going up. Again, lupins being chopped back. But yeah, so again, it's just a little bit of a repeat of flowers for the most part. Again, we've got the really gorgeous dinner plate dahlia, we've got the lobelia behind, sweet alyssum, and these little verbena, which are beautiful at the moment. So these are really going to town at the moment. I can't remember what they're called. I've got the tag somewhere. I'll have a look, see if I can find the name for it. but really enjoying those. Those are just annuals though, so they'll come out. And again, the Sweet Alyssum, looking gorgeous. This is one I did from seed. So yeah, this is on its second flush. So once it's sort of finished flowering on its first flush, you can chop it back just to a little sort of leaf mound, and then it'll come back again. And then we've got our Lady Gardener rose, which is sort of, it's had its second flush and it's just on its way out really. But again, really, really gorgeous, gorgeous scent. Gorgeous colour, I think. Some more echinacea. Hostas that are small, they're going to grow a bit more. I've only newly put those in. Bit of heuchera to add a different foliage colour again. Yeah, lots of work, sort of lots of areas that I talked about in the upgrade video that I want to upgrade again. So if you missed that, just have a look and just see what sort of changes I do want to make. So I think at this time of year, it's really, really telling, isn't it? Sort of looking around the garden, everything's sort of in full flow, and you can really see what's actually looking really good in the garden and what's not. I mean, you can do it all throughout the year really, but I think summer's a really, really good time to see if things have got enough room to grow, if they're on top of each other, which some of mine are, what's not looking so good, what's not working. Yeah, just things you want to change. It's a really good time of year to do that and sort of plan for the garden for the rest of this year and next year as well. So yeah, and it's just exciting. It sort of brings that kind of positive lift again to getting excited about doing work in the garden. So we've got the climbing hydrangea, that's done. Eucalyptus, which is growing very, very tall. So this is a different eucalyptus. This one's going to grow really, really tall. But I love the bark on this, the eucalyptus trees. Really, really gorgeous, sort of peels. Again, just adding that little bit of interest in the garden. And then heading on down, shed, we've got the olive trees doing well. We have got some fruit, which we'll see if they ripen fully. Don't know if they will, but it looks pretty anyway. And we've got the little girls. Hi girls. So unfortunately we lost one of our chickens. We went on holiday, everything was fine, came back, and then after about a week we just noticed it had died. Really, really sad. It's our original chicken that we hatched. So we hatched some chickens in lockdown, and that was one of the original ones that we'd hatched. So really, really sad. Because it was our own little one. These two that are left we actually bought in addition, but yeah, really, really sad. And we don't know what's happened. The other chickens are absolutely fine, so we initially thought bird flu, but it's not. The other chickens are absolutely fine, so I don't know what happened, but yeah, we have only got two now. So heading on down this border, so we've got a little shady area, and again in the upgrade video I sort of talked about how I want to extend this flower bed out and make this into a really, really nice big shade area. So we've got the beautiful Brunnera here, gorgeous, gorgeous big leaves. Just look at those. Again, just so much interest in each leaf, it's just beautiful. And then we've got lots of hostas around. These are baby ones, they will sort of grow and fill in. And again here, and we've got some lungwort as well. So this lungwort, I don't know if you can see the leaves, they're sort of speckled, spotted. Oh, that's a really good one actually, that one. That one looks really fresh and good. So these are actually, another name for them is pulmonaria, and they actually get their name from the leaves and the way they look. And they're supposed to look a bit like a diseased lung, which isn't pleasant, but that's where it gets its name from, pulmonaria, or lungwort. So there you go, a little fun fact. And then coming on down, perennial grass and our hydrangeas, which are sort of, they've been flowering really beautifully, and they're sort of, yeah, lulling a little bit. It's sort of getting a bit cooler now outside. So they come out the sort of limey green and then they age to this bright white. But really, really beautiful. And then this area I am going to work on as well. Again, I just mentioned in the upgrade video that hydrangea is going to come out because it does not get enough sun. That's a different hydrangea. That's a panicle one, just doesn't get enough sun there. That's going to go all the way over the other side of the border next to where I'm going to take the lupins out actually. So we're going to reuse plants for the most part, and then buy some new ones. Actually, I will show you what's going to go in its place. So we've got the macrophylla, one of the macrophylla hydrangeas there, and I'll just show you what we're going to put in its place. So this other macrophylla hydrangea is what we're going to put in the other panicle hydrangea's place. Look at that! So beautiful! So yeah, that's just one of the new plants that are going in, and look how they come out. They come out looking like that, and they sort of age to this more fullness in colour. But yeah, so that is going to go in place of this panicle hydrangea over there, so it's going to add a nice bit of pink colour. So yeah, begonias have been beautiful. Really I'd plant them every year. They're so beautiful. So coming on down this side of the border, so nothing much has changed really. Yeah, again, there's a few areas that are lacking, so I'm going to be working on those. But yeah, it's just interesting to have a look. There's the kids' swing ball. It's just interesting to see the garden in full flow and just see actually what things are working well, what's not working well, and just sort of, yeah, plan to change things up a bit. So again, I always say I love this little corner, which I do. Obviously the hostas, they're getting eaten by the slugs at the moment. That's just part of the course really with our hostas. But I just love the combination between, you've got the Acarus ogon here and a weed. Hang on. Got the Acarus ogon here, sort of variegated leaf, looking really pretty. It adds that sort of brightness. We've got the hosta. And then we've got the heucheras. Again, just that sort of combination of colours I think looks really pretty together. So really happy with this corner. I don't think I'm going to be changing anything there. And we've got our apple tree, which hopefully is going to grow a bit bigger next year. Alright guys, so just a quick tour really. I just wanted to show you how the garden's doing really. Some things that I'm loving at the moment. There are things that need to be done. Yeah, any garden, there's always things that need to be changed up, that need to be swapped out. Gardening's never once and done, is it? It's always a ongoing process, which kind of is fun because you get to keep working in the garden, and I keep getting to make videos as well about changes and things that I want to put in. Alright guys, thanks so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!